Hey guys, welcome back to some Raid Shadow Legends. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down some of the gear, but we have finally hit level 38, which means we did get the unlock rate here in the dungeons of a brand new dungeon, which is the Sand Devil's Necropolis. Now, overall, from this, you can see we have lesser oil, greater oil, superior oil. There are also these random chaos dust that you can get out of here. Want to kind of break this down because I did some research looking over on Hell Hades' website. Wanted to break this down and show you kind of how to do this. Now, he has a lot of tips depending where you are. And in my account, even at level 38, I consider myself very, very early game. Only has taken about 10 days to get here. When you think of players that have been playing Raid for months, years, even looking at the 6-year anniversary, if you've been playing this since the beginning, you probably have a far deeper, greater knowledge than I do. But I wanted to break this down. So when it comes to the champions, we have the ability to really change the pathway or really change the focus of a champion itself based on the gear that we have. So I want to break down this piece specifically, looking at my set perception, attack of 60, because we have this at level 16 already. It is maxed out with the perception gear. Really, really good set. So if you're thinking of earlier game where I'm at, you want to make sure that your primary damage dealer really does have a life leech set. Very imperative, because at some point, especially here, you're only going to be focusing on your very first champion, getting up to that level 60, getting up to that max ascended, which is what we built out with Kale. Then we put the gear on him. So in here, as you can see, I am running 4 pieces of life leech. Then we do have the 2 pieces right here of perception. Now, the big thing is you're adding accuracy, which is huge when you're getting the poisons up, when you're getting all the dots up with this champion. It is imperative to have. And then, of course, the speed bonus, that plus 5% makes a big difference. The stats, I know I have to redefine some stats. I have to change up a couple things. And overall, the chance that you have really going in the Forge, getting this perception set is one of the first things that you absolutely want to do. Then we come into upgrading this. So upgrading it, as you can see, we did put it to level 16. We have the event right now that is going on with the gear. So getting this a little bit higher did make a big difference on how we're building this out. Also shows plus the Ascension bonus. Now, enchanting this, we can put a couple of our glyphs on here. Again, these are really basic low-level glyphs. You can see that we're farming. We're not at the point to get a lot of higher-level glyphs. Then we have the rework, which reworking the item itself can rework the stats. But then this is what we unlock. So this is the ability to go in here. This artifact can receive one of the following Ascension bonuses. This is kind of what I wanted to break down according to the list. Now, he talks about don't farm the Sam Devil or the Phantom Shogun at an early stage. So this is a point we should not be farming this at all. I seen it open. I ran that level 1 stage 2 or 3 times. We did get some of these, and we had some of these out of events, out of different rewards that we've gotten. So overall, we did get a couple of these. Now, only ever ascend 6-star gear. Now, that is very important for me. Right off the bat, I only have 1, maybe 2 pieces that are actually at the 6-star, which means only ascend 6-star gear. As you can see right here, these boots are epic and they do have 6 stars. Don't re-roll any ascension until you have better gear. This, of course, makes a big difference because when we're going in here in the ascension bonuses, we can add the ascension on here. Then we have the ability to re-roll it. It says only re-roll better gear or wait till you get better gear, because chances are you could get a drop that is 6 stars. You could craft a piece that is 6 stars. That is going to be a lot higher level than what we're seeing here. Getting the stat boost that you want out of the boots, which we know going in the boots and looking at them, it'd be awesome to see these with like a speed buff on here instead of the attack really coming in here and building on the perception bonuses that we do have. Now, also talking about only ascending your very best gear. So looking in here, it is really expensive. Even looking at these resources, if I send this to level 3, this is going to use about half of my resources, which would be a big thing in here. Look for speed ascensions or speed or perception boots. Again, focusing on the boots, we have the attack in here. Early game, they talk about speed or perception bonus with speed main stats on the boots. So we are looking for speed. As you can see right here, we did roll these with attack. So I'm not going to spend the ascension resources within here. Then as we get a little bit further, as we get into the mid-game tips, you might farm it every now and then if it overlaps with the tournament. Right now, we do have a tournament that was going on. It might have ended, but I know we did have a tournament that was going on right around this. Like I said, we just actually unlocked this, but I believe right here, Sand Devil Turn Attack. Tournament is not live. This is coming up in 8 hours. This is the event that we're talking about within here to essentially go in here and farm the materials you need through this system. So you actually get rewarded on top of getting rewarded essentially with the champion that you have. Very cool to see that we have the ability to get there. Now, only reroll truly exceptional gear 1 to 2 times. As you rework, you can see right here, rework attempts are 0. As you continue to rework the gear actually gets exponentially more expensive to rework it right here with the chaos dust. It gets more expensive as you continue to rework, which is the reason why 1 or 2 times, if you're in mid game, that you want to go ahead and rework this. Only ascend items of high quality that are used by core champions. Looking right here, core champions, in my opinion, we have Kalen here, we have Supreme Galak, we have Tagore. Those are really the 3 that I use for a lot of the content. As we continue to get more champions in here, might change along the way, but overall, those are the ones that we're really looking to build out in their entirety. And look for good ascensions on your gloves, chests, and boots, and critical damage, amulets, and accuracy on bracers. Again, very important to note that we're looking at gloves, chest, and boots on there. Good ascensions on all 3 of those. Now remember, when you start looking at the stats, when you look at your weapon, when you look at your helm and your shield, these are set. So you always roll attack when it comes to a weapon, always HP on the helmet, always defense on the shield. These 3 are your stationary stats. They will always be on these artifacts themselves. Now, when we look at our gloves, when we look at the chest, when we start looking at the boots, these will vary. Going in and farming gear, all 3 of these will vary, and they can have a very, very high variation based on the star level that they have or the stars that they achieve. It gives you a higher level buff. Now, I want to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So when you're going in here and you're farming gear, let's say, for instance, we're going through hard and we're getting some of this life leech gear, you'll notice the gloves have 2 stars at a 25% max, 3 stars go to a 30% max, your 4 stars go to a 40% max, which means when you're getting 5 stars, when you're getting 6 stars, exponentially, they are going to get a lot higher. They're going to get a lot stronger as you're continuing to get higher gear. And I believe Nightmare mode, I haven't started in Nightmare yet, but I'm assuming this is even going to give us a little bit of a higher gear here. And right there, so Nightmare is offering, there is this 6-star gear that can drop in here. And you can see the base stats in here go from a 30, 40, 50, a 60 at 6 stars. 6 stars is as high as you can get the gear. But again, exponentially, if you're building top end gear, it is going to be important if you're going in here building these, especially when it comes to boots, because boots, you are looking for speed. So even looking at the top end, if you're getting 4 stars, if you're getting 5 stars, if you get 6 stars, the top end goes from 30 to 45. Extra 15 speed can really make a big difference, because then when you get the multiplication factor in there, or the percentages that we see, that is where it is going to make a big difference. Same with the chest, where if you're going in here and you're getting this HP percent, this is what we're looking for at 6 stars. Getting this HP at this 10% gives you a max of a 60% increase in HP, which is the reason why when it comes to gear, it is super important on what you roll in getting the 6-star. Now, like we were talking about earlier, having the ability to go in here and getting this perception set. So we want a perception set. You can see 5 or 6 stars, not going to be available because we do not have the bloodstones out of the faction wars. I need so many more champions to go in here and compete within the faction wars. In the 5, we have quite a few in here, so we could roll a couple pieces of the perception gear. Also looking at the rank up charms. This is very important when you start looking at the ability 2x to get a higher rank. So we could probably get a 4 or 5, or if it does roll a little bit higher, 2 times chance to get a higher rarity. So we'll drop that charm in there as well. Chance of getting a mythical artifact. We do not have any of those. And it says you're only allowed to use it on 5 and 6. But again, we don't have any of those at all. But coming down here, types of charm. Now remember, like we were just talking about, weapons, helm, and shield, always going to be standard, always going to be stationary, but gauntlets and the chest piece and the boots are going to be the ones that we do want to add in here if we are building these out in the entirety, making sure we got those. Now, thinking of boots, we want the speed, 50% chance of speed subset. Now, I think that is the secondary stats that I would assume in here with the boots itself, because if we put speed in here, I don't know if that is going to go in for the actual subset. That's a really good question that I have. If you know, because can we get speed on the boots and then get a subset of speed? That might be, again, kind of interesting to think, because if we add that in here, we could have the ability to get, and again, I'm first time really crafting these. I mean, I made literally two pieces of perception in here, but looking at the resources that we have, looking at the glyphs up, we've been getting these on a regular basis. Of course, we need some more of the legendary, but let's craft some of these. And let me do one of these and see if we can get a good pair of boots out of here. So it's really cool when we craft it. We get a shield. So even though we did the subset in here, we did get speed out of there. Now we did get, again, the perception shield. Defense, crit rate, which I do like, speed out of here. So pretty good overall. And we did also get it at 5 stars. Again, I don't know if we can get 6 stars in here just based on what we're kind of building. We have one more in here for the boots. I'm going to go ahead and save that one. We got to work on the forging. It says I have 103 left. So I know we have a lot more pieces to do and a lot more things to do within forging itself. So we're going in here, doing the advanced quest, as you can see right now. But building these out is super imperative. Now, when it comes to end game, now it's going to be a long, long time before we're in end game. But even looking at the Ascension, looking at the end game, farming Sand Devil in the Shogun becomes the most valuable way to spend your energy. So again, when you go through, you do all this farming, you get to the high levels, you have a lot of tier 6, or essentially your 6-star gear, mostly ascended 6-star gear or very exceptional 5-star gear is what we talk about. Rerolling stronger pieces 2 to 3 times, depending, because you don't want to keep rerolling and burning all your resources. Limited gear stats on Merciless, Protection, Feral are the absolute best that we have in here. And then focus on getting your core champion gear to fully ascended. So essentially building this up a little bit further. Now I want to put a level on here just to kind of see what we get out of here. So I know we are using a little bit of resources, which I'm okay with it. I want to add a star on here and see what we get. So there we go. So success. So we have attack of 60, and then we did get attack, what, 3 to 6? So that seems pretty good that we're getting a lot more attack out of here. And I believe if we continue to ascend this, let me do it one more time. I think this number is going to go higher, up to that max of 20 if we continue to build this up. So there goes 6 and 9. Yeah, so it is going to build it up just like I was kind of thinking. So looking here, we have 60 attack on this, attack plus another 6%. So that is adding the stars, just like we see on the champions, to actually build this out a little bit further. So very, very cool to see on some of these pieces. We're going to have to get some more 6 stars, and we're also going to have to get some better boots on here. Now, again, I just wanted to kind of test this out. I know we might have used or wasted a little bit of resources because we have attack on the boots, but definitely wanted to test it out, wanted to see where it's at. And even some of these, we are looking for the HP, the common breastplate at 4 stars. I have to get a lot better gear. I have to farm a lot better gear. A lot of people are saying don't bother farming gear, but it seems like we can make a lot more progression and progression a lot faster if we're going ahead and we're farming gear. Now, I'm also saving the diamonds to use the mastery as well, so we can actually build that out. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.